Dinosaurs on a spaceship.
This ship contains the most precious cargo.
The ship's coming through the atmosphere.
The creatures on board this ship are not objects to be sold or traded.
Who sent you?
That's my dad.
What's going on?
The ship's been boarded before.
You think I will punish those who get in my way?
I'm launching the missiles.
Sorry, what was your name again?
Whatever's down there is coming this way.
Queen Nefertiti of Egypt.
What is it?
Dinosaurs on a spaceship.
What is up, guys? Murderman4 here, and today I am back with another Doctor Who episode review. And today's review is on the Season 7, Part 1, Episode number 2, episode Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. So, let's get into the summary. Well, in 1334 BC Egypt, with Queen Nefertiti, the Doctor receives a call from the Indian Space Agency in 2367 AD about a vast spaceship which crashed into Earth in 6 hours. The ISA plans to destroy it with missiles unless the Doctor stops it first. Taking Nefertiti with him, he picks up a Edwardian explorer, John Riddell, from the African plains in 1902 AD. He then materializes the TARDIS around his companions Amy and Rory 10 months after he last saw them in Asylum of the Daleks, inadvertently taking Rory's father Brian on the TARDIS as well. They materialize in the spaceship and find that it contains dinosaurs. When asking the ship's computer for the engines, the Doctor, Rory, and Brian are transported to the engine room, a large beach on the ship which uses the waves as hydropower. Meanwhile, with Nefertiti and Riddell, Amy discovers that the ship is a Silurian Ark, designed to carry the reptilian humanoids to a new planet along with flora and fauna from their time period. It left Earth millions of years ago to escape the meteor impact that wiped out the dinosaurs. The ship, however, registers no Silurian life forms on board. After escaping from a group of pterodactyls, the Doctor, Rory, and Brian are escorted by 2 robots to the only human on board, a brutal man called Solomon, who has been injured in a raptor attack and requires medical help. Scanning the Doctor to see who he is, Solomon is surprised that the Doctor does not appear in his universal database. Solomon reveals himself to be a lawless exotic black market trader who has raided the spaceship in order to steal the dinosaurs. Having had the robots murder all of the Silurians, Solomon was unable to take control of the ship himself, and the computer defaulted to its point of origin, causing it to return to Earth. Discovering Queen Nefertiti's identity and value, he decides to kidnap her and leave in his own ship. Though the Doctor refuses, Nefertiti agrees to go with him to save the others, despite the man's obvious sadistic intentions towards her. While Amy and Riddell shoot hostile dinosaurs with a tranquilizer gun, the Doctor disables Solomon's robots and rescues Nefertiti, then tricks the ISA missiles into targeting Solomon's ship rather than the Ark. It is destroyed, taking him with it. Rory and Brian pilot the Ark away from the Earth, as the ship can only be piloted by 2 people of the same gene pool. The Doctor then takes Amy and Rory back to their home after letting Brian view the Earth from orbit. Nefertiti, who has been flirting and clashing with Riddell, opts to go with him rather than return to her own time. Amy and Rory receive a series of postcards from all over the world sent by the previously travel-shy Brian, along with one featuring the dinosaurs of the TARDIS and a sign saying Silurian. Alright, so, summary is finished, and now to talk about the episode. So, I rated this episode 4 out of 5 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed the episode. It was pretty good, actually. What I liked was that, unlike Let's Kill Hitler, the title has actually something to do with the actual storyline, because Hitler was only in Let's Kill Hitler for, I'd say, about 5 minutes at most. 5 minutes at most. Whereas this story, it's actually, the dinosaurs are a main point in it. In Let's Kill Hitler, Hitler was not. So, I'm happy that the episode stuck with the title. So, yeah, and it was genius to bring the dinosaurs back into Doctor Who, because they haven't been in Doctor Who since the early 1970s in the Jon Pertwee or Third Doctor era with Sarah Jane Smith. I think it would be in 1973. in a story where dinosaurs are in present-day Earth, because the Third Doctor is exiled to Earth in those, for most of his time. So, yeah, and I'm pretty sure, and Sarah Jane was the companion at that time. We'll get into her later in season 2 of the new series. But yeah, so let's see. Let's talk about the dinosaurs. A few different types of dinosaurs appear. There's a Triceratops, which the Doctor, Brian, and Rory ride. That scene's pretty awesome. But unfortunately, it gets killed off. Then there's a T-Rex, which only has a cameo, and it's sleeping. There are pterodactyls, and they're in a brief scene, where they chase after the Doctor, Brian, and Rory. And then there are raptors, which are at the ending of the episode, and they're being held off by Amy and John Riddell. I'm just going to refer to him as Riddell. So, yeah. And I like the idea of the gang. I mean, like, yes, I would not want to have it in every episode, but I like that they decided to have a gang for this episode. It was pretty cool. I would be fine with that, like, him having a gang, like, every once in a while, like, maybe once a season or so. I'd be fine with that. There's a nice range of characters as well. Like, well, there wasn't too many, but yeah, there's from 3 different eras. Present day, which would be Amy, Rory, and Brian. In the 18th century, that would be John Riddell, and then way back in ancient Egypt, Queen Nefertiti, obviously. So that was pretty cool. The villain, or the villains, if you count the robots. I didn't really care for them. The robots were okay, but I just didn't really care for them. And then Solomon, I didn't really care for him either. He wasn't the best Doctor Who villain, just someone wanting to sell dinosaurs for a lot of money. But I was pretty surprised at his fate of blowing up by the missiles, because the Doctor deliberately sent the missiles after Solomon, and exploded him up into a million pieces. Probably more than lesser than that. What am I saying? Probably more or less than a million. Depends on how much pieces explosions blow up ships into. But that's a discussion for in the comments. That's a discussion for in the comments. If you want to comment about that, comment about that. But that's not why you're watching this. So yeah. All right, the characters. Queen Nefertiti. As I said, like, it was pretty cool to have a gang. So Queen Nefertiti and John Riddell, I liked it, like, they were just tagging along. And then Brian Williams, he's got to be one of my favorite Doctor Who characters. He is just awesome. I'm disappointed that they didn't introduce him, like, earlier, because he's actually really good. I really like the first scene that he's in, when the TARDIS materializes around him, and then when they get on the spaceship, the Doctor accuses Brian of sneaking on board, and then Rory comes in and says that that Brian was his dad, and that the Doctor materialized around him, and then the Doctor says, "Oh, that's fine then." So yeah, there's some great comedy in this episode as well. Probably one of my favorite scenes, definitely like one of my favorite comedy scenes in the whole series, is they're in the beach engine room area, and they're digging to the floor. Well, they need to. The Doctor tells them to dig, and then Brian pulls out a trowel, and then Rory is like, "Do you always carry that trowel on you?" And Brian's like, "What man doesn't carry a trowel? Put it on your Christmas list." And then Rory says, "Dad, I'm 31. I don't have a Christmas list anymore." And here's the funny part. The Doctor turns around, puts his hands in the air, like this, and he's like, "I do!" And it's funny compared to Rory's sentence, because he's saying he doesn't have one because he's 31. And then, you gotta keep in retrospect, the Doctor is over 1,100 years old. So, yeah. Of course, we all know the Doctor is a child at heart. But, yeah. Like, you know what I mean, like, he's not, like, a child at heart. Well, he is, but, like, you know, he acts childish. But, yeah, as the Fourth Doctor said, what's the point of being an adult if you can't be childish sometimes, so. Except I think Matt Smith's Doctor is childish most of the time. But it suits him, it suits him. I don't think there's anything else to really talk about in the episode. I'll just go quickly through the title sequence. It's basically the same as Asylum of the Daleks, but a little bit darker. Also, the logo, instead of the Dalek bumps, it is Skin of a Dinosaur. So, yeah, pretty cool, I guess. And, yeah, I think that's about it for this Doctor Who episode review. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next week with A Town Called Mercy's review. So, Murgaman 4, over and out. See you guys later.